Toon Goons, a podcast in which we take an adult and critical perspective into the world of cartoons and animation and analyze how they affect the pop cultural landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki.
I'm Nina.
Tooch! And then he
That was my best Vin Diesel in the morning.
And then he explodes in space.
Yeah.
No!
And then Tooch won't be in the rest of the episode.
No.
That was mean. This week, we are talking about a movie that I'm surprised wasn't like our second episode.
Right?
The Iron Giant. A beloved classic. Perfect executed. It is the robot movie about robot. It's the best, and the extended edition just came out. Nina saw it in theaters. I rented it off of Amazon. Tooch didn't see it. But,
It's called the Signature Edition.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we're going to get into the changes that were made with that, but we're also going to talk about the movie as a whole because it's the Iron
And the
Giant.
history of the film, too. And just at this top here, if you're listening to this podcast and you've never watched The Iron Giant, you need to get off of your keister and go do that. Like, right now.
You Keister boy.
Like, what are you even doing?
Keister Sutherland.
My God.
We got a lot of news, though, so let's get through that first.
Yeah, let's blaze it. Where should we
What that means.
I don't know. I'm so tired. Let's do something not dumb first. Let's start with something not dumb. How about that? As you may or may not know, Nikki Yang is an amazingly talented animator and voice actress. You may know her as BMO and Princess Rainicorn and Candy from Gravity Falls and a bunch of other incidental characters and all of our favorite modern cartoons. She's finally getting her own show. Her new pilot is called Yo-Yo Toki Happy Ears, and it's available to watch on Amazon.
You do not need Prime to watch it.
No, you don't need Prime. You can just stream it. And, Nikki's been participating in a lot of our favorite shows for this past, decade. And, it's about time she has her own project that we can all watch and enjoy.
I always think of her primarily as a voice actress because that's, where we see her. But yeah, she's storyboarded a ton of stuff. She started storyboarding in Adventure Time. I think she's worked on Clarence. Did she voice anybody in Clarence?
She might have. I don't remember.
Yeah, so, yeah, she is actually first and foremost an animator.
Mm-hmm.
I think from what I can tell, she got into voice acting because the Adventure Time crew was like, your voice is, super cool, and also, you know Korean and we don't, so can you voice his Korean horse?
Well, I mean, I assumed that her Koreanness was influenced Lady Rainicorn speaking Korean, because in the pilot, she just went, and they were like, that's gotta stop.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the case and not the thing I said.
Yeah, I think she was cast as BMO first, and they're like, we need a voice for this
weird horse thing.
I'm not sure if BMO actually spoke in season 1.
I'm pretty sure BMO did.
Once or twice, though.
Because I think, one of the earliest BMO things I can remember was they're just like, do you want more eggs, BMO? Yes, please. And then BMO just slaps him on its screen face and slide down.
Well, yeah, that's why they just pick somebody on staff to do the voice. They're like, oh, we need a voice for this character.
Don't worry, it's just it'll barely be important. Don't worry.
This character won't become the best character and important in this show.
So Yo-Yo Toki Happy Ears is about a young fox named Yo-Yo Toki who wishes she was magical. And she takes her gummy friend Steak and flame-haired friend Hot Wings on a journey to the magic elf king to grant her wish. Through her journey, Yo-Yo Toki discovers the magic in just being herself and also learns the hard way that you should never trust a Medusa snake to give you directions. So in this picture, there's Yo-Yo Toki, there's the gummy bear fridge friend who's really cute.
Gummy the fridge bear.
There's the weird flame-haired
unicorn
Hot Wings guy.
Did you guys watch it?
Fun.
I haven't.
I watched about half of it because I just found out about it. Hot Wings is voiced by Carl The guy who voices Grenda.
Oh, awesome.
I'm not looking at his name, so I'm not even going to try to take a running start at it, but he's cool. I don't recognize any of the other voices. From as far as I got, Nikki Yang is not in it herself. And I'm going to call her Nikki Yang because, like, the couple of times he said, oh, Nikki's working on a show, I was like, what?
It's Nikki Niki as opposed to our Nikki, which is Nicky.
Yes. It's very cute. It's very well animated, very well art directed. All the voices were really good in it so far. Like, it's, I think it was like 8 minutes. I got about halfway through and I'm going to watch the rest of it when I'm done, but like, it seems super cool. And the post on Frederator says that if you like rate it and probably just like viewing it, cause it can pull demographic data off of anything, you're going to help it get picked up. Cause it's just a short. It's just a pilot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I need to do that. I forgot to do that. But it looks super cute. All right. So moving to something...
Want to do something dumb next?
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you guys want something dumb or something not dumb?
We'll do we'll switch them like good album pacing.
Okay.
What do you have in mind?
How about this one I just clicked on?
I don't know which one that is.
I know. I'm waiting for it to buffer. Animal crackers.
This one was weird.
So, Blue Dreams animated Animal Crackers has sold. It's an upcoming animated feature with Emily Blunt and Danny DeVito and Ian McKellen and Sylvester Stallone
and John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Who turns out is a very good voice actor, as we saw in The Wind Rises.
Mm-hmm. And it's being done by Blue Dreams Studios, co-directed by Tony Bancroft, who worked on Mulan, and creator Scott Christian Sava. And I'm a little confused, because I guess there's a lot of international changing of hands or selling of things.
The economy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
their facilities are in Spain, but then they're secured backing from Canada and China Film Group. But the film itself is about a couple who inherit a rundown circus, and with it a mysterious box of animal-shaped cookies that possess magical powers.
What?
Yeah, we got an image from it of some kind of gerbil with crazy eyebrows, who I'm gonna guess is DeVito.
I'm gonna assume that's DeVito. Yeah.
It would actually be super weird if that wasn't DeVito.
Does anyone think those animal crackers look delicious and way better than normal animal crackers? Normal animal crackers look like dump. You can't tell what half those animals are. Well, I mean, the big puffy ones. The ones that come in the box that's like the circus on the string that always breaks.
Yeah.
Those are...
Yeah.
But the ones that you get in a big fucking Costco jar, those are like, what are they? They're gross. I hate them. And then sometimes they got like frosting and sprinkles on them. I'm like, don't try that shit. Don't hide it. Don't hide. Don't
I do appreciate how this article says that they're definitely cookies, because they are.
Yes. Cookies.
They're not crackers.
So I guess I'm not quite sure what all this business logistics stuff is.
We're not business people. We're cartoon people. The only thing we're in the business is, I guess, podcasts. We don't make money off this. Oh, jeez.
No.
We're not in any business.
I'm in a huge hole.
But all you need to know is that a movie about animal crackers is coming, and it's going to have...
Will they be in your soup?
Famous
Find
people.
out early 2017.
Who is Ian McKellen going to play? I need to know. I need to know who Ian McKellen is going to play.
Who's Sylvester Stallone going to play? Movie. I don't care.
We could dive into the idea of making an Animal Crackers movie, but I guess just listen to that bit we did about the Playmobil movie, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I actually think this is... Since we have more of a premise, I have more confidence in this than the Playmobil movie, and say infinitely more than the fucking Emoji movie. But... like,
how's it going to be magical? Like, are they going to eat the animal crackers and then gain the power of that animal? Can they summon the animals? Like, I don't know.
Can they transmogrify into the animal?
Where is my Teddy Grahams movie? Nabisco, get on it.
Oh my god.
Starring
No,
starring the Teddygram with its arms down and legs open, and the Teddygram with its legs closed and arms up. Those are my stars. Luke and Owen Wilson. Let's do this.
It's a built-in cycle. They already got a walking cycle.
Yeah.
A 2-frame walk cycle.
The bears are just going to move via jumping jacks.
I mean, did the Legos move that much better?
I mean, they could move.
They could move.
Teddygrams decidedly can't move.
I mean, they're cookies.
Except when, like, Homestar spits them onto the ceiling.
Alright, so something not dumb. Netflix is joining the bandwagon of eventually producing anime.
See,
I hope it's not dumb.
I saw this article, and I'm like, didn't we just talk about that? I was thinking about Crunchyroll.
Yes, we just reported that Crunchyroll has said they're going to do the same thing. Now Netflix said that they're hopeful that they could make a good anime show. And because, Netflix is trying to create unique programming, it seems to be working out really well for them financially and critically to be doing that. Mm-hmm. I don't think a single, Netflix exclusive thing has been,
bad.
Garbage.
Well, there's been stuff that hasn't really gotten any attention, but I don't think anything's been, a huge bomb, a huge, money dump. Not everything can be BoJack or Orange is the New Black, but...
And they're trying to premiere anime on Netflix, sort of in conjunction when it comes out as well.
They got exclusive streaming rights to Knights of Sidonia, and that was their first big thing, because that's popular, and that did well.
Yeah. And then Aijin Demon Hunter, they were able to stream it only 3 days after the Japanese premiere. And, they have a bunch of plans to stream other things. Their anime collection has slowly been growing. But them producing anime would be very interesting. And we could get some really cool things out of it. Because it's Netflix, you don't have to worry about what's actually in the show, because it can basically be anything. So, we'll see. Again, refer to our coverage on the Crunchyroll.
Which basically comes down to, if this works out like everyone's hoping it will, it'll be great. And if something goes awry, it'll be dumb.
Which basically describes any potential event.
Yeah, man. And life is just a series of 50-50 shots.
Just cutting commentary. It'll be great or it will suck. We don't know.
Yeah.
All we know is that it's happening. Prepare.
Now, let's talk about the big dumb thing that's happening. Blazing Samurai is a film that is being made as a parody of Mel Brooks's famous Blazing Saddles.
If you're not familiar with Blazing Saddles or Mel Brooks, it's completely already a parody.
Yes.
Oh.
It's gonna have Michael Cera, Samuel L. Jackson, Ricky Gervais, George Takei, Gabriel Iglesias, Asif Mandvi, a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah,
and Mel Brooks himself.
Yeah, after Asif Mandvi, I don't recognize anybody on this list. Asif Mandvi was one of the guys on The Daily Show, and maybe still is. I haven't watched it since college.
Yeah. It's about a madcap array of cats and dogs comedically battling for samurai supremacy, not in the Wild West, but in the faraway Japanese East.
That cartoon, Bruce, stop it!
Well, I mean, the show itself sort of warrants it. So, on the production team, we have co-director of Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Garfield movies, Chris Bailey, as well as veteran Disney animator Mark Koetsier. Also features art direction from new Mr. Peabody and Sherman show and Steven Universe's Kevin Dart. And Canada-based CG animation and visual effects shop Arc Productions, behind the wonderful, wonderful movie that everyone remembers, Nomeo and Juliet.
Ooh, boy.
Is the lead animation house.
I didn't see that earlier. I thought we were already scraping the bottom with Alvin and Garfield.
Nah.
Alright. Okay. And, they have a poster for it. It's a back shot of a cat in a fundoshi, a big old fat cat in a fundoshi, and the tagline is "Prepare to crack up," because you can see his butt. So, I read that, I'm like, oh, that's not very good. And then I remember, that's basically Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The thing with Mel Brooks, he's a comedic genius, but what they say about him is that he's never met a joke he didn't like. So, like, all the movies of his I've seen are good, but there's a lot of joke spaghetti being thrown at the wall. And a lot of it is really bad.
Yeah.
So the film will star Sarah as an upstart dog named Hank, who enlists the mentorship of Jackson's past-it cat warrior Jimbo to transform himself into a samurai to save the crappy town of Kakamucho.
Stop it!
Like Gervais's power-mad Ikachu. See, this is why the article wasn't too far off. I mean, these are the jokes.
But after it names the town Kakamucho, the article has a parenthetical, just goes, get it?
I
don't know what your stance is on this, Cartoon Brew. What? Come on, man.
All right.
Brooks is going to be playing a character just called Shogun, a bumbling but benevolent leader. As Brooks says, there's no business like Shogun business.
All right. Okay.
You know what? Mel Brooks is the only man on this earth that can say that. I'm fine with him saying that.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Okay, there's a degree of this that makes sense because samurai movies and westerns are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of the reverse of, like, because this got me thinking about...
Magnificent Seven?
Yeah, it's the reverse where they turned a Japanese thing into a Western thing.
Yeah. Man, this poster. For the people who brought you Blazing Saddles, The Lion King, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. What a grab bag.
I know.
Like, I mean, the implication with always, from the people who brought you is like, that it's the same thing. Like, in front of every Pixar, it's like, oh, the last two really good ones. Like, so like, in front of Finding Dory, it's like, for people who brought you Finding Nemo, and Inside Out, and Up, probably.
The interesting thing about this film, though, is that it also has a lot of international partnerships. I mean, we've got, Sony Pictures, we've got, like, Facebook did a crowdsourcing sort of thing to help this film. I mean, we've got China's largest film and television studios, Huai Brothers Media Corporation, Minkoff's multi-platform production company, Flying Tigers Entertainment, London-based GFM Films. Like, everything about this movie is a clusterfuck from top to bottom.
Yeah, this is a lot of shit in just being blended together, and I don't know, maybe something cool could rise to the top, because, like, Mel Brooks is pretty funny, but, like, he already made this movie! He made it!
And it was very, very good.
Yeah, and that was 41 years ago, which is crazy, but, alright, so, I mean, I guess we'll see when's this coming out, 2017, 28, August 4th, 2017.
Yeah.
So
I can't stop staring at these.
I bet the ads for this are gonna be insufferable, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, even by the standards of a kid's film.
A trailer.
I mean, this cat butt, though. I can't look away. Moving on. Finding Dory's trailer just dropped, I believe.
Yep, it did.
Today, which is November the 10th. And we finally get a little look into what this movie will be. One thing I have to say about the trailer is, like, it just starts by playing that Finding Nemo theme music, and I already got emotional. Like, I forgot about that music, and then I was like, oh, no, so many feelings.
Yeah, it was mostly surreal to me, because it's like, you go, especially when something takes a while to get franchised, it's like you only have the one thing forever, and then they just bring you more stuff, like however many fucking years later, and you're like, oh god, it's what I saw before, but they're doing and saying different things now, and I don't know. Oh god.
Like, I think I've seen Finding Nemo a total of 20 times in my short life, which is a lot of times.
That seems like you're lowballing it. Here's the thing with Finding Nemo.
Every class in high school when there was nothing else to do, Finding Nemo. Every science class, for some reason.
Yep.
Like, everybody's
Fisher science,
kid
fuck
party.
Yeah, here's the thing with Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is, I don't know if it still is, but for a long time it was the best-selling DVD ever, which makes a lot of sense. The movie came out just as DVD had, like, completely supplanted VHS, and it's a kids movie, which obviously those sell a lot of DVDs, and it's also extremely good. But the thing with me and Finding Nemo is that I was so, there was a point, like, in the mid-2000s where you were watching Finding Nemo, like, 3 times a month against your will. And so I got pretty, people were quoting it a lot. It was sort of like a microcosm of the, like, among, like, normies, it was kind of like what happens with nerds with, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Python and the Holy Grail specifically, where, like, it's so legitimately funny that people kind of lose their minds over it and all the jokes get diluted. Because people just quote it all the time.
Yep.
And it's not, that isn't like a lasting thing I've found with Finding Nemo, where it's like, there are still, like, you go into any middle school and you find the, like, group of friends of, like, kids who look like me and they're still quoting they're still quoting Monty Python. Like, that's timeless. But, like, Finding Nemo, like, I haven't seen it in a long time because I got kind of sick of it. I'm ready.
I saw it like 20 times within the same year.
Yeah. And past the point when you're like a little kid and you just deliberately watch every movie 20 times, like, consecutively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
It never stopped being a good movie. It was just,
I almost felt like good.
I almost felt like, I guess like what a creator would feel like, where, like, I'm tired of this thing. Like, I don't even know if it's good anymore.
Yeah.
But this new movie, Finding Dory, it's the sequel. And the premise is that Dory starts to remember shit. Slowly. Things are trickling in. And she realizes that she has a family and she has to go find them. So, Nemo and Marlin?
You know, that guy.
You forgot his whole bit. He had a whole bit about.
Apparently, I didn't watch the movie enough.
Than the one he was.
They, accompany Dory because she can't be alone to try to figure out where her destination is or what's going to come up of all these memories coming to fruition. And it is very surreal. Like, it really is just like these characters never went anywhere.
Yeah.
They're all just there. They sound exactly the same. Like,
yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, it's not like the movie takes place 12 years later like they do with Toy Story 3. It's like within a year.
This could be the next week.
I mean, they're fish. Yeah. Their lives aren't long.
Yeah.
So.
And actually, this kind of thing is something that, like, Pixar's doing a lot of, because we just did Monsters University, which was, there's a lot of time in between those movies, and we got Incredibles 2 coming up. Again, a big gap. The only ones that have come out with, like, any degree of regularity have been Cars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sequels are just the thing now, and even Pixar
had a bit of a rough patch after their hat trick, so I'm not surprised if, like, these movies got greenlit during that period. Like, well, this is safe.
Yeah, probably. Where's that Bug's Life 2? Where you at? Come on, I want to see that fat caterpillar. He's funny.
He was a butterfly now.
Well, but he looks exactly the same with tiny wings.
Yeah, but he has beautiful butterfly wings. All right, and last bit of news is something pretty cool. Not something that we typically talk about on the show, but an old lost Oswald short has been discovered or uncovered in London. For those of you who don't know, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was
the guy from Epic Mickey.
The guy from Epic Mickey.
That's where everybody fucking knows him from.
He was Disney's the first character that Disney really worked with, like, as just like a character. It wasn't the first animation stuff that he did, but, like, back in the day when Disney was just a scamp, I guess. He had Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and with a lot of these short film reels, they tend to get lost over time because they make, like, a bunch of them because these things are coming out, like, all the time, and they're quickly made.
And like comic books from the same era, nobody knew this shit would be of any value.
Yeah, the theaters would just throw them away. But this one is coming from London, and it's a 6-minute film called Sleigh Bells. It hasn't been screened since its initial release in 1928.
Dang.
What if it's insanely racist and nobody's checked?
No, people have checked. The BFI have already... The British Film Institute in London has already, like, gone on top of this.
And made sure it wasn't horribly racist. It's 1928. Yes. I mean, who knows?
They're going to be showing it as part of their It's a Disney Christmas Season Shorts program on December the 12th, because it's about sleigh bells. And there's a screenshot of Oswald, like, ice skating.
I guess. So
it's like a wintry...
There's no background.
I've been taking animation history, like, I...
Is that just a cell, or is that like a screenshot?
That's a screenshot. This was 1928, Nikki. The backgrounds weren't...
Look, Nick, it's snow, alright? Shut up.
Backgrounds would, like, they would have stuff, like, all the way in the background, but most of it was just an empty foreground so they could animate the characters onto it, like...
People, you didn't need like, people didn't conceive, all people thought was, like, oh, I'm making a character move. This is gonna blow people's fucking dicks off.
Nikki, this was the silent period, like...
Yeah.
It was simple.
People were still screaming from trains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. The film was stashed in the archives 34 years ago as part of a lot from a closed London film lab, labeled only with the title... And, you know, Sleigh Bells doesn't tell anyone.
Doesn't evoke a goddamn thing.
And the date. And it was only recently unearthed when a researcher was, like, browsing through the roughly 1 million item catalog for lost Disney titles, and then fucking realized what it was and was like, oh shit! But yeah, it's by Disney, animated by Ub Iwerks, who did most of those, who was working with Disney at the time. And... I mean, I don't know if it's going to be made available beyond this BFI screening, but we'll see. But yeah, it's very 20s. Like, Oswald, apparently in one scene, he removes his ear to use as a balloon, a laughing donkey gets a puck in the kisser, and there's an elephant for some reason.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, yep.
So
that's pretty cool.
I'm intrigued by the 1 million item catalog for lost Disney titles.
Well,
do you think it was alphabetical? Do you think he got to S and he'd been working on it for like 4 years, just looking through shit? 1 million is a big fucking number.
Well, that's the thing about these old films is, like, they made a lot of movies back in the day, and a lot of really short pictures, and you know. There was no value to these things beyond when people watched it at that moment. So, like, there's a lot of shit that's just laying around, and people don't even know what it is, and
it's weird
nobody
to think
cares.
That, like, the concept of cataloging everything, not just what seems to be of significant value at present, is such a late 20th century idea and concept.
Yeah, it really is. Like, nobody
cared.
No, like, they used to, like, the old animation cells, they used to wash them clean so they could use them again. That was Chuck Jones's first job, was a cell washer.
He was a history destroyer.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't,
well, fuck
it had no value.
I mean, to bring it back to comic books, the reason why people even had them is because it was for kids, and kids held sentimental value. They liked their shit. Kids didn't have access to these reels. If they did, there would be more of them. But that's not how anything works. That doesn't make any sense.
Most people didn't own a projector in their house.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And then, even when television became a thing, there's a lot of lost television shows, because the concept of reruns didn't exist forever. So, like, people would just watch all these cartoons and movies and shit and just be like, well, I saw it. That's it. I sure hope I don't forget it.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that only exists because some dickhead recorded it. Because he was just, like, recording everything. But
I guess I don't care. It cost 5 cents.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of There's a lot of animated films we know existed, but we are lost. We know they exist because there are records of people writing reviews of them in the paper, but the actual films themselves are nowhere to be found. So,
Because strangely, newspapers are actually pretty well archived.
Yeah, and everything else, no. But yeah, that's super neat, and we'll see if it comes out in some kind of box set in the future. I don't know. It seems like the BFI is going to hold on to that baby pretty tight, so.
I just saw at the bottom of this article another piece of news that very bizarrely ties into something we just talked about. Johnny Depp is starring in a new animated movie.
What?
Huh?
Called Sherlock Gnomes, a sequel to, and I'm quoting this fucking article, indie animated hit Romeo and Juliet.
Excuse me?
What even is his career anymore?
I'm more offended that they would call it an indie film.
Well, yeah.
It was MGM and Paramount.
And yeah.
And apparently it's, like, unbearably bad.
I thought everybody forgot about it immediately after it happened because we had to.
Romeo and Juliet. It's a fucking Elton John centered jukebox musical.
Yeah. And like,
yeah, I remember. It was bad.
It was completely inexplicable.
It was how I couldn't even watch the trailer. I was like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you assaulting my eyes and my ears?
And at the point of the end of the story, where like they're both supposed to fucking die, like someone breaks the fourth wall and literally is like, "Wait a minute, that ending sucks. We can do it better." And then it's a happy ending. They just
it's like Crocodile Rock or some shit. Who cares?
Yeah, they did sing Crocodile Rock.
They definitely did.
None of the songs fit. None of them fit, because why? Because
they couldn't even do Candle in the Wind, because nobody fucking died in the movie! So that's terrible. That's the dumbest thing. I outdumbed whatever Nina found that was also dumb.